Reddit Fresh.
Am I the idiot for having my niece's dress photoshopped because she wore white to my wedding? So I, female 30, got married, yay. Honestly, it was my dream wedding. Everything went off without a hitch. Except for one small thing, my niece's, 16, dress. It was a white, lacy knee-length dress. She even wore lace elbow-length gloves. Honestly, it looked just like a wedding dress. I didn't say anything to her or her parents, my brother and sister-in-law, at the moment, and I tried my best to ignore it. But when I got the first drafts back from our photographer, I couldn't stand when I saw her in her white dress standing next to me. My husband saw how upset I was and suggested that we pay extra to get my niece's dress photo shopped to a light blue. We thought it through, and since we had some budget left, we went for it. Well, last week, we got the final photos back and they looked great. I could hardly even tell that my niece was originally wearing white, and she still looked really nice. I posted some of the photos on social media, and my sister-in-law messaged me and was angry that I photoshopped my niece without checking with her, my sister-in-law, first. She accused me of thinking my niece was ugly and of body shaming her. To be clear, I did not have her body photoshopped, only the color of her dress and gloves. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but this situation has been stressing me out, so am I the idiot? Edit, small clarification, the picture I posted was a large group shot that my niece is in. I wasn't trying to showcase Photoshop at all. Not the idiot. If she didn't want the dress to be photoshopped, she shouldn't have let her daughter attend a wedding in a lacy white dress. The nerve of that woman. Not the idiot, and your sister-in-law aren't stupid. She knows why the dress color was photoshopped. Does your sister-in-law dislike you? It is the only reason I could think of why she wouldn't have told her daughter to change dress color. Everyone knows only the bride wears white to a wedding. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my wife I'm tired of raising a kid that is not mine? I, male 31, am married to my wife Amber, female 30. We have a daughter Emma, female 7. The problem is my wife's best friend Jennifer, female 30, has a daughter as well, Harper, female 7. Well, Harper's dad is a lazy sack of crap and refuses to do anything with his daughter. He is the type of guy that brags about how he never changed a diaper. Jennifer and Harper are usually at Amber and my house on the weekends because Harper's dad is drinking and watching sports all weekend. On Saturdays, I normally spend all day with my daughter because I don't see her as much as I want to during the week. However, with Harper being there every Saturday, anything I do with Emma, I have to do with Harper. Take Emma to the zoo. It's Emma, Harper, and I taught them both how to ride bikes, took them both to dance class, took them both to the kids' salon, and so on. Mother's Day was the last draw. I took them both to dance class Saturday morning, Amber, and I also pay for both dance classes because deadbeat won't. On the way home, Emma asked if we could stop to get something for Mom for Mother's Day. I said sure, but then it ended up I had to buy something for Harper to her mom as well. On the way home, I just kept thinking, why am I buying someone else's wife a Mother's Day gift? That's his job. A few days later, because I did not want to ruin Mother's Day, I told my wife that I am tired of raising Harper. Her real father needs to step up. I'm tired of it taking away time I get to spend with Emma. She said that Jennifer is her best friend and we need to be there for Harper. Now she is not speaking to me and sleeping in the guest bedroom. So am I the idiot? Just wanted to add some updates to questions I see. Emma and Harper are best friends. It was my idea to spend Saturday with Emma. I work more during the week, so I wanted to spend Saturday with Emma and to give my wife a bit of a break. We pay for things because Jennifer's husband thinks it's a waste of money to pay for dance class and Jennifer can't afford to pay by herself. Jennifer and Harper do things with Amber and Emma 1 or 2 times a week together during the weeknights. NTA, personally, I'd never be able to not take in a kid that needed it. A lot of kids with shitty parents have their mental health saved by the kindness of friends' parents who step up. That being said, it's not something you're required to do. I do feel bad for the kid though. None of this is her fault. No idiots here. I understand wanting to spend time with just your daughter. But dang, do I feel bad for Harper. I really see where your wife is coming from. She wants to help her best friend and the little one. As a child, I loved that my friends' parents included me in my friends' activities. My parents never did such things with me. I'm sure if you knew how much this probably means to Harper, you might feel slightly different. But I do understand not wanting to do this every week and getting some quality time with just your daughter. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for embarrassing my father by offering to stop telling my children that I love them? I call my kids boy, 15, and girl, 16. I love The Simpsons, and I always thought it was funny that Homer referred to Bart as boy and Bart called him Homer. With my father, everything was yes sir, no sir. I also constantly tell my kids that I love them and am proud of them. For some reason, the name thing puts a wild hair up my dad's ass. He was over last weekend, and he was vociferous about how I'm hurting his grandchildren by not calling them by their names. I told him that my kids were happy and to leave it alone. He just wouldn't drop it. So I called my kids over to where we were talking, and I asked them if they wanted to be called by their names instead of boy and girl. I said in return they would have to call me sir, not daddy or dad. I said I would accept father in emotional conversations, but that I would no longer remind them every day that I loved them and was proud of them. They both were happy with the status quo. They know what my relationship with my father is like. My father got all pissed off and said that's not what he wanted at all. So I asked him how often he told my sisters and I he loved us or was proud of our accomplishments or just as people. He said it was a different time, that his father was worse than him. So I asked him if he thought my kids were happier than myself and my sisters were growing up. I pointed out that my kids are happy. They are reasonably well adjusted. Now he is being pissy, and my mom says he is upset that I think he was a bad father. He wasn't. He was just emotionally distant. I hated it. My sisters both had some therapy to help them choose better men. They both fell in love with any guy who gave them attention. My daughter knows her worth and won't settle for anything but the best. My son has no problem hugging me and telling me or his mom about his life. They are teens. I know I don't know everything going on with them, but I'm doing my best to be there and give them the support I never had. My kids know they are loved. I don't just say it. I try my best to show it. My dad thinks I'm being an idiot for pointing out where he didn't do great as a father when he tried to criticize my parenting. Everyone sucks here. The whole comment about you calling them by their names means they have to call you sir instead of dad. Sorry, but no. If your kids are generally happy with what you call them, then fine, but to expect to be called sir? Hell no. You are their dad. They can call you dad. You dad sounds like an arse no matter what. You're the idiot for both making your parenting choices about your own amusement, the name thing, and a means to stick it to your father, instead of having your parenting choices be fundamentally about the well-being of your children. Children are not playthings or a way to make a point to other people. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my parents I am willing to sell them my forgiveness? My parents expected me to be independent the minute I turned 18. They gave me the money they had saved up for my education, and they started charging me rent. I was lucky enough to have a partial scholarship, and I found a job in the city my university was in, so I moved there before the school year began. With my parents' money, my scholarship, and my wages, I was able to scrape by. I rarely if ever spoke with my parents. I was kind of busy. I guess they decided that they didn't want that kind of relationship with my younger siblings because they were not presented with the same option. They both lived at home all through university and even afterwards. I am 34 now with a decent job and a great girlfriend whom I will be marrying this summer. I sent my parents and siblings an invitation. They called me to ask why they were not involved in the wedding. I responded that they hadn't really been part of my life in 16 years and that I was being nice by inviting them. They said that they acknowledged that they made mistakes when I was young and that it was in the past and that I should get over it. Against my fiance's advice, I sent them an itemized bill for everything I paid for myself that they freely gave my brother and sister. I said if they wanted to be a part of my life, they had to ante up. They said that they cannot afford that because they are in debt still from helping my siblings out. I laughed at that and said I hoped that I would see them at the wedding and hung up. My family are all getting a hold of me to let me know how much I'm hurting my parents. The thing is that I don't want their money. And I don't want anything from them at all other than their attendance at my wedding. If they can't do that, then I'm fine with our yearly phone call. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Maybe the itemized bill was a bit much, but I imagine it was cathartic for you. Your parents haven't been around in a decade and a half. They have a lot of nerve to ask to be involved. Not being involved in your wedding is just reaping what they sowed. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Edit, wow. And thanks for the award. Not the idiot. Get over it? WTF, yeah, I can do anything I want, as long as I wait. I can just say get over it. That's not how it works. They have debt with you to repay. A debt is not forgiven just because time passed. It's still there. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my parents I won't be their live-in babysitter or take care of my baby sibling for them? I, female 16, am an only child, and that position will be expiring in October when my parents have their second child. They were always supposed to be one and done with me. Something I was aware of was partly due to them finding childcare ridiculously expensive and mom enjoying her job too much to stay home. I think another part of it is that they are not very natural parents and are pretty much entirely hands-off. We never do anything as a family, and they are not very involved in my life. They pay for stuff, and that is their contribution to my life. The pregnancy was a big shock for them and for me. I heard them discussing WTF they would do, and my mom was repeatedly saying she was not going to stay at home and she was not going to take much maternity leave. That she wants to be back at work ASAP. They complained about how much it will cost to get someone to watch the baby while they work and during the summers and stuff. I heard them mention me, and I was like, oh hell no. They sat me down a week ago and told me they had these plans for me to watch the baby for 3 to 4 hours after school until they get home from work. It would involve quitting all my after-school stuff and not hanging out with friends after school either. They also want me to stay home next summer and to consider hanging around to be there for the next few summers. I was like, no way. They told me I am going to be a big sister now, and that as part of the family, I have responsibilities. I told them they had responsibilities as parents, and I am not a parent. I am the child in their house. They told me not for long. I said I could just rush to graduation and leave so they can't use me as free childcare. I don't think they expected these reactions from me or the thought I had put into it. After I heard them talk with each other, I found out I could graduate in December by talking to my guidance counselor. I'm almost finished my junior year now and could finish senior year early with the grades I keep and the work I do. That is definitely the most appealing option to me, and I'll be 17 in a couple of weeks anyway. My parents were really unhappy with me, and they told me I am going to miss out on so much by doing this. I told them I won't take care of or raise the baby for them. That I have my own life and being stuck with a baby is not part of it. They told me I am being incredibly selfish and to think about what I am throwing away. They also said I won't be a very good sister if I refuse to be part of the baby's life. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. My mom has always been a single mom, and much like yours, very emotionally absent. When I was 6, she went to a sperm donor just because she wanted another kid. She had twins, and I got that same big sister responsibilities talk. Long story short, I lost my entire childhood to helping raise my siblings. I'm 20 now. The damage done to all of us is irreversible. All that being said, you're absolutely right. That baby is their responsibility, and you are entitled to your entire childhood. Not the idiot. You were right when you said they had responsibilities as parents, and I am not a parent. I am the child in their house. Sorry, don't know how to link it from your text. They are the parents. It is their child and their responsibility. I get help out once in a while, but this is unfair to you. Plus, you are 16. You are so young. What happens if you go to college or something? They are irresponsible parents. If you liked this video, you will probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.